Ah, look, Malaysia just formed. That consisted of Malaya, Singapore, Sarawak, and Sabah on the 16th of September 1963. And now it's 2023. From the looks of it, it seems like we're living in harmony with Sarawak and Sabah's beautiful beaches being massive tourist attractions and orangutans. Then, we have Malaysia stabilizing their economy, and oh yeah, Singapore got kicked in 1965. But have you ever wondered how we got here? Okay, so World War II is just over. The British had regained control of Malaya, Singapore, Sarawak, and North Borneo, or in the future, Sabah. The North Borneo Company has finally fallen and they became a British Crown colony because North Borneo and Sarawak were just too weak to demand for independence from the British. They couldn't really do anything. Singapore, on the other hand, achieved autonomy during 1955, and in 1959, Lee Kuan Yew became Singapore's first Prime Minister. The Sultan of Brunei remained as a British client and Malaya gained independence in 1957. During 1959 until 1962, the British government made complex negotiations between these local leaders and the Malayan government, all to form this massive merge of nations. On the 24th of April 1961, Lee Kuan Yew had proposed the idea to create Malaysia during a meeting with Tunku Abdul Rahman. The Malayan Deputy Prime Minister or Vice Minister, Abdul Razak, loved the idea and convinced Tunku to back it. On the 27th of May 1961, Tunku Abdul Rahman proposed the idea of forming Malaysia, which would consist of Brunei, Malaya, North Borneo, Sarawak, and Singapore. It stated that this idea would allow the central government to better control and combat communist activities, which was a really big thing in Southeast Asia. In order to finalize the idea, members of each territory had to agree to the proposal. Lee Kuan Yew supported and followed this Malaysia idea, but some didn't. The Singaporean Socialist Front hated this idea and would just like an independent Singapore. In North Borneo, however, there were no political parties, so they just had to ask the local community. Although the Sultan of Brunei supported this idea, the Brunei's People Party hated it and opposed this idea. Tunku explained this proposal further during the Commonwealth Prime Minister's Conference in 1961, and in October, the British gave the green light to form Malaysia, only if the territories agreed to this idea. The Cobalt Commission approved this formation for North Borneo and Sarawak. However, a lot of Bruneians disagree with this formation. North Borneo said that they will join Malaysia as long as Malaya followed their condition, which was written in the 20-point agreement. Sarawak did the same, except it was known as the 18-point agreement. Votes were held in Singapore to get the people's opinion on this, and 70% of the voters supported the idea. The Sultan of Brunei rejected and withdrew from the idea because the people hated the idea. The Brunei's People Party literally started an armed revolt just to oppose the idea. After reviewing the Cobalt Commission, the British government set the Lansdowne Commission to set a constitution, or basically rules. In July 1963, it was agreed that Malaysia would be a thing on the 31st of August to match the date of Malaya's Independence Day. However, Indonesia and the Philippines disagreed with this idea. Indonesia said that Malaysia represented a form of neo-colonialism, which basically means that the British wanted to play a good guy role in the situation by basically letting everyone have their independence, but in reality the British are still in control, which is obviously fake. The Philippines, on the other hand, claimed North Borneo as their land. Because of the opposition, an 8-member UN team was formed to determine whether or not Sarawak and North Borneo wanted to join Malaysia, which basically just means another voting. The idea of Malaysia was finally achieved on the 16th of September 1963, which consisted of Malaya, North Borneo, Sarawak, and Singapore. Well, that surely didn't last long, because 2 years, or in 1965, Singapore was kicked.